Hello students, hope you are doing well. Welcome to my channel where we nurture and learn mathematics beyond boundaries. In today's video, we are going to solve questions related to consumer surplus and producer surplus using the basics of integration as part of Class 12 CBSE Applied Maths curriculum. The questions have been picked up from the CBSE Handbook, Aggarwal and even the PYQs to give you a comprehensive coverage of all kinds of questions that you may come across while solving questions on producer and consumer surplus. Hope you have gone through the video on indefinite integrals, definite integrals and the basics of consumer and producer surplus before proceeding on solving the questions. If not, pause the video right away, watch all the 3 videos so that you understand and you are able to easily solve these questions. So let's get started. Now before solving the questions, let's do a quick recap of consumer and producer surplus basics. So let's start with the demand function. As we understand, demand is a downward sloping function that relates quantity to the price. Quantity and price are inversely related in the demand function. As the quantity increases, the demand of the price of any commodity in the market goes down. The supply function is an upward sloping function where the quantity and price, they are directly related to each other. As the quantity produced by the producer increases, the price also increases in the market. And at the equilibrium point, the demand becomes equal to the supply. The price at this point is called equilibrium price and the quantity produced or demanded in the market is called equilibrium quantity. Consumer surplus is the gain made by the consumers when they purchase an item at a lower price than the equilibrium price. It is given by the integral of the demand function minus x naught p naught, and the producer surplus is the gain made by the producer when they sell an item at a higher price than what they are willing to sell it for. The producer surplus is given by x naught p naught minus integral of the supply function. To solve any questions related to consumer and producer surplus, the 2 steps are: number 1, find the equilibrium price and quantity, and thereafter find the consumer and producer surplus using the correct formula. So don't use the wrong formula when you are solving questions related to consumer producer surplus. Next, if the demand and supply function, either of them or even both of them are not given to you in the question, just that it is mentioned they are linear functions. So the first step now is to create the demand and the supply function using the equation of a straight line, then find the equilibrium price and quantity, and then find the consumer and producer surplus, whatever is being asked in the question. Now the 3 common mistakes that you can avoid. The 3 common mistakes that you can avoid while solving questions on consumer producer surplus is: number 1, use the correct formula. Consumer surplus is the integral of the demand function minus x naught p naught, and producer surplus is the product of p naught x naught minus the integral of the supply function. Second common mistake, use the correct limits. From 0 to x naught, that is the equilibrium quantity, not the equilibrium price. And number 3, write the answer statement with proper units. If the unit is not specified in the question, you may just write whatever answer you get, monetary units. It could be rupees, pounds, dollars, whatever is given in the question, but if not, please specify, just write units if nothing else, right? So let's proceed on solving the questions for consumer and producer surplus. The first question is, if the demand and supply curve for computers is given to you, what is where P is the price, what is the quantity of computers bought and sold at equilibrium? Now at equilibrium, the demand becomes equal to supply. So you need to write all the steps when you are solving any question. So you will write at equilibrium, demand is equal to supply. So let's equate the 2 functions given here. So this means 100 minus 6p is equal to 28 plus 3p. Take 6p to the other side, it becomes 3 plus 6 is 9, and 100 minus 28 becomes 72. So that means the value of p is 72 by 9, and that is 8. Once you have the value for price, you can put it either into the demand function or the supply function, because it is the equilibrium point, both are equal, so either will work. To find the quantity, so let's use the supply function. So the supply function says it is 28 plus 3 into 8. So this becomes 28 plus 3 8 is 24. So that comes out to be 52. So that means the quantity produced at equilibrium point is 52 computers. Now here the answer is not in rupees or units of production, it is 52 computers. So that's why it is important to write the unit. Let's move to the next question. The supply function of a commodity is given to you where x denotes supply. Find the producer surplus when the price is 0. So you need to find the producer surplus. You are given the equilibrium price. What you need is equilibrium quantity before using the formula for producer surplus. Now how do we find the equilibrium quantity? So let's start with the supply function, which is P is equal to x square plus 4x plus 5. Put P as 10 and find the value of x. So it becomes 10 is equal to x square plus 4x plus 5. Let's solve this quadratic equation. This becomes x square plus 4x minus 5 equals 0, and the factors are x plus 5 and x minus 1 equals 0. So x comes out to be minus 5 and 1. We ignore the negative value of quantity, so that means the value of x is 1 at equilibrium. Now we need to find the producer surplus. So first write the formula for producer surplus. It is P naught x naught minus integral of the supply function given to you with the limits 0 to x naught. It's important to write this formula, otherwise you lose half mark here. So now what is the equilibrium price and quantity? It is 10 into 1 minus integral of x square plus px plus 5 dx, and the limits are 0 to 1. So this becomes 10 minus x cube by 3 plus 4x square by 2 plus 5x, and the limits are 0 to 1. So let's just put the values and solve it further. 1 by 3 plus 4 by 2 plus 5 minus 0. Take the LCM. So this is 6, 2 plus 12 plus 30, 30, 40, 44 by 6. So it is 100 minus 22 by 3, and this becomes 30 minus 22, that becomes 8 by 3. So that means the producer surplus, we need to find producer surplus here. So producer surplus is 8 by 3 monetary units. So this is your answer, right? Okay, so let's move to the next question. The demand function for a commodity is given to you by an exponential function this time. Find the consumer surplus at the equilibrium price. Now these demand and supply functions, they can be linear, they can be quadratic, they can be exponential, they can be rational. So you should understand how to integrate any of these functions. So that's why watch the video on indefinite integrals on integrating any of these functions. So let's start with the demand function. It is P is equal to 20 e raised to power minus x by 10. You are given the price as 2, so let's put P as 2. So it becomes 220 e raised to power minus x by 10. And now if you bring 20 to the other side, it becomes 1 by 10 equals e raised to power minus x by 10. Now because the variable is in the exponent part, then that means we need to take log of this. So before taking the log, let's make the exponent positive first. So this becomes 10 is equal to e raised to power x by 10. And now if we take log of both sides, so you should write whatever steps you are doing. So taking log, that becomes log of 10 to the base e equals log of e raised to power x by 10 is x by 10. Now in the question you are given the value of log of e to the base 10, and here we have log of 10 to the base e. They are inverse of each other. So here we need to use the property of logarithms. We have a property called change of base. For example, you have log of b to the base a. So this is written as log of b to the base c and log of a to the base c, right? Now if b and c are equal, this becomes equal to log of c to the base a equals 1 upon log of a to the base c. So this is what we are going to use here. That means log of 10 to the base e can be written as 1 upon log of e to the base 10. So this becomes log of e to the base 10 equals x upon 10. Now you are given the value of log of e to the base 10, you can put it here and find the value of x. So x is 10 upon the value of log of e to the base 10 given to you is 0.4343. So this, when you solve this, take away the decimal point, multiply the numerator by 10,000, you get the value as 23.03. So you have the equilibrium quantity also, equilibrium price also, and now you need to find the consumer surplus. So let's write the formula for consumer surplus. It is the integral of the demand function, which is 20 e raised to power minus x, 20 e raised to power minus x by 10, integral of the demand function minus product of P naught and X naught. The price was 2 into 23.03 and the limits are 0 to X naught. So this becomes, let's integrate, keep 20 aside because it is a constant. Integral of e raised to power minus x by 10 is this divided by coefficient of x, which is minus 1 by 10. The limits are 0 to x naught minus double of this is 46.06. Now you have, keep the constant aside, it becomes minus 200 e raised to power minus x by 10 and the limits are 0 to x naught minus 46.06. Put the values, it is minus 200 e raised to power minus x naught by 10 minus e raised to power 0 by 10 minus 46.06. Now we already have the value of e raised to power minus x by 10 as 1 by 10. So we'll use this value here and solve it further. So this becomes minus 200, 1 by 10 and anything to the power 0 is 1 minus 46.06. So this becomes minus 200 into minus 9 by 10 minus 46.06. Minus into minus is plus. 9 to the 18, 180 minus 46.06 and this comes out to be 133.94. So let's go back to the question and look at the units. Anything given to you? No, nothing was given to you and you just had to find the consumer surplus. So you will write the consumer surplus is 133.94 monetary units. So if no unit is given to you, please write units. Only units will also work. Right? So let's move to the next question. The demand function for a maximizing profit monopolist is given by P is equal to 274 minus x square and the marginal cost is given to you for x units of commodity. Using integrals, find the consumer surplus. So you need to find consumer surplus now. So that means you need the demand function which is given here and you need the equilibrium price and quantity, but we don't have it. So how do we find that? For profit to be maximum, for maximum profit by a monopolist, that means the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. This is the condition for maximum profit. Now we are given the marginal cost, but what about revenue? We don't have revenue, marginal revenue, but we have the demand function. So revenue is equal to demand into quantity. We have covered this in the basics for cost and revenue functions. If you want, you can go back and watch the video on the basics of cost and revenue and understand what is revenue and what is demand, how they are related. So here in this case, the revenue function is going to be 274 minus x square multiplied by x. That becomes 274x minus x cube. Now we need the marginal revenue from here. So marginal revenue is derivative of the revenue function. So this becomes 274 minus, here it was cube, 274 minus 3x square. So this becomes your marginal revenue. Now for maximum profit, the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So let's equate both of them. So that means 274 minus 3x square is equal to 4 plus 3x. So let's bring everything to the right side and then solve this. This becomes 3x square plus 3x minus 270 equals 0. Divide the entire equation by 3. X square plus x minus 90 equals 0. Let's split the middle term and factorize. So the factors are going to be x plus 10 and x minus 9. That gives you the value of x as minus 10 and 9, ignoring negative values for quantities to be produced. So that means the equilibrium quantity is 9 here. Now how do we get the equilibrium price? We can substitute this quantity into the demand function that is given to you. So the demand function is 274 minus x square. So let's substitute the value of the equilibrium quantity into this equation. We get price as 274 minus 9 square is 81, and that comes out to be 193. So this is the equilibrium price. Now we have the equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity, and we need to find consumer surplus. So let's use the formula for consumer surplus. It is the integral of the demand function that is given to you. What is the demand function? 274 minus x square. So integral of 274 minus x square with respect to x from 0 to x naught, which is 9 minus product of p naught and x naught, 193 into 9. Please write the formula before you put in these values, otherwise again I am warning you will lose half mark here. So let's integrate this further. It becomes 274x minus x cube by 3, and the limits are 0 to 9 minus, how much is 193 into 9? It comes out to be 1737. So let's put the upper and lower limit. 274 into 9 minus 9 cube by 3 minus 0 minus 1737. 274 into 9 is 2466. Minus 9 cube is 729, 729 by 3 comes out to be 243, and then minus 1737. So when you do this calculation, you get the answer as 486. So this is the consumer surplus, these many units, 486 units. Understood? Wonderful. So let's move to the next question. Find the consumer surplus and producer surplus under pure competition for the demand function and the supply function given to you, where P is the price and X is the quantity. Now, in case of pure competition, you should know all these conditions, that's it. So, in case of pure competition, it means that the demand will be equal to supply. Demand and supply functions are equal in case of pure competition. So let's equate both these functions. 8 upon x plus 1 minus 2 equals half of x plus 3. Let's solve these two equations. Take the LCM. 8 minus 2x minus 2 equals x plus 1 into x plus 3. So this becomes 8 to the 16. No, 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 2 is 12. 12 minus 4x equals x square plus 4x plus 3. So let's take everything to the right side. We get a quadratic equation, x square plus 8x minus 9 equals 0. Let's factorize by splitting the middle term. It will be x plus 9 and x minus 1 equals 0. That gives you the value of x as minus 9 and 1. We cannot have a negative value for the quantity, so we'll have x as 1. Now we can put this value of x as 1 in either of the demand and the supply functions and get the equilibrium price. So that means now the price is given by half of x plus 3. I have used the supply function here. X is 1, so it becomes 1 plus 3, 4, 4 by 2. That means the price is 2. So we now have the equilibrium price as 2 and equilibrium quantity as 1. So we have both the values, and now what do we need to find out? Find the consumer surplus and the producer surplus. So we need to find both of them. So let's write the formula for both of them and find them. So consumer surplus, write the formula, don't skip that. So it is the integral of the demand function. Where is the demand function? It is 8 upon x plus 1 minus 2. So integral of this entire function limited by 0 to x naught. X naught is 1 minus p naught into x naught. I have directly substituted the values and written it, but you have to write the function, write the complete formula, otherwise you will lose half mark here. So let's integrate this function. We get 8 log of x plus 1 minus 2x limited by 0 to 1 minus 2. So this is 8 log of 1 plus 1 becomes 2 minus 2 into 1 is 2, and then log of 0 plus 1 is 1 minus 0 minus 2. Log 1 is 0, so this term goes away. So that means we have 8 log 2 minus 4. So this is the consumer surplus, these many units. So this is your answer for consumer surplus. Now let's look at producer surplus. Now producer surplus is P naught minus X naught 2 into 1 minus integral of what do we have here? Half of x plus 3. Half of x plus 3, right? The supply function. So it is half of x plus 3 into dx. Limits are 0 to 1. So 2 minus, let's take half out. What do we have? Integral of x plus 3 is x square by 2 plus 3x, and the limits are 0 to 1. So it becomes 2 minus half, 1 by 2 plus 3 minus 0. 6 and 1 7. It becomes 2 minus half into 7 by 2. That is 2 minus 7 by 4. 4 4 is 8. 8 minus 7, it becomes 1 by 4. So that means the producer surplus is 1 by 4 units. So this is your answer. Understood? Wonderful. So let's move to the next question. Now here the supply and demand curves of a tire manufacturing company are given to you. ABC tire manufacturers sold 25 units when the price was rupees 20,000. They sold 125 units when the price dropped to 15,000 per unit. When the price was 25,000, 180 tires were available, and when the price was 15,000, then 80 tires remained. So you are given the demand. This is the demand data points that you have for demand. What is the demand in the market, right? What is needed? And you are also given the data points for supply. How much is available with the supplier? Find the demand function. So first we need to find the demand function, also find the consumer surplus. If the supply function is given to you, okay, supply function is already given, but we need to create the demand function. Now because the demand function is linear and we are given the data points here, so let's first assume the demand function is, so you will write let the demand function be P is equal to mx plus c. This is the equation for a straight line, generic equation. Y is equal to mx plus c. Now the data points given to you are when 25 units, for every 25 units the price was 20,000. So when the price was 20,000, 25 units were sold, and when the price dropped to 15,000, then only how many units? 125 units were sold, right? So let's put all these two data points into this equation. So it is 20,000 is equal to 25x plus c, and this is 15,000 is equal to 125x plus c. Let's subtract the two equations and find the value of m and c. C goes away, it is minus 100x, and this is 5,000. So that means the value of x is minus 50. It should be m here, not x. So the value of m comes out to be minus 50. Slope for the demand curve, it is negative, right? Now let's find the value of c by putting in this value in one of the equations. So we have 20,000 is equal to 25 into minus 50 plus c. That means c comes out to be 20,000 plus 25 5s is 125, 1250. So C is 21250. This means the demand function is given by P equals minus 50x plus 21250. So this is your demand function. So the first part of the question is done. Now we need to find the consumer surplus if the supply function is given to you. Now what I'll suggest is pause this video right away, because you are given the data points for the supply also. Try to create the supply function. You will get the same function what is given here. So just pause it and try it on your own. So you got the same supply function? Wonderful. So you have the supply function also now, and now you need to find the consumer surplus. So how do we find the consumer surplus? Before finding the consumer surplus, we need the equilibrium price and quantity. We have the demand function, we have the supply function, but we don't have the equilibrium price and quantity yet. So you will write at equilibrium demand is equal to supply. That means minus 50x plus 21250 is equal to the supply function that is given to you, that is 100x plus 7000. Right? Now solve this equation. Take 50 to the other side. 150x is equal to 21250 minus 7000. It becomes 14250 is equal to 150x, and x comes out to be 14250 divided by 150, 0 is gone. So the value of x will be 15 9s are 135, and then 15 135 75, 15 5s are 75. So the value of x comes out to be 95 here. Right? Now we need to find the equilibrium price. How do we find that? We can put this value of equilibrium quantity in either the demand or the supply function. Any of them will work. So let's put this value into the supply function. So we get P is equal to 100x plus 7000. So it is going to be 100 into 95 plus 7000. So that comes out to be 9500 plus 7000, and that is 16500. So this is the value of the equilibrium price, and x is equal to 95 is the equilibrium quantity. Now using both these, we need to find what? We need to find the consumer surplus. So for consumer surplus, first write the formula. It is the integral of the demand function. What is the demand function in this question? It is minus 50x plus 21250. So it is minus 50x plus 21250 dx. So it is the integral of the demand function from 0 to x naught, 0 to 95 minus product of price and quantity. So it is 16500 into 95. So let's integrate this. It becomes minus 50 x square by 2 plus 21250 into x limited by 0 to 95 minus, what is the product of these two? It is 156750. Yes, there are lots of calculations in this question, so you can't get away with that. You need to do it. So this is, I can write this as minus 25 into 95 square plus 21250 into 95 minus 0 minus 156750. 95 square is 9 into 10, 90, 90, 25. So it is minus 90, 25 into 25 plus 21250 into 95 minus 156750. Yes, you have to do this calculation. There is no choice. So once you calculate these two, what do you get? You get 1793125 and minus 156750. Right? Now when you do the subtraction, the final answer comes out to be 225625 rupees. So this is the consumer surplus. Here the unit was given to you in the question in the form of rupees. So don't forget the unit, it is these many rupees, 2,25,625 rupees. Understood? Great. So let's move to the next question. Now again, you are given a linear demand and supply function. So in the grain market, the relation between price and quantity is given to you. Suppose the information is this: at a price of rupees 20 per kilogram, the quantity demanded is 400 tons, and price 25, it is 200 tons based on the, so you are given some data points. So these data points are what? For the demand function, you have the data points. Based on the above information, formulate the linear demand function. Suppose the supply function is given. Now supply function is there. Find the equilibrium price and quantity, and then you need to find producer and consumer surplus. Now this question is part of the CBSE sample paper for the year 2025-26. So it's very important that you understand how to solve such questions. You are given two data points, so let's first create the demand function. How can we create the demand function? Let's write the data points in the form of table. It is rupees 20 per kg and there are 400 tons corresponding to this, and when it is 25, then it is 200 tons. So when it is rupees 25, then 200 tons is the quantity. So the price is per kg and it is in tons, it doesn't matter. So the linear demand curve means the equation for the demand curve, you have to write everything. Let the demand curve be let the demand function be P is equal to mx plus c. Now let's put both these data points into this and get two linear equations. So it becomes 20 equals x is 20, not 20, it is going to be, yes, 20 equals 400 m plus c, and 25 equals 200 m plus c. Now we have two linear equations, let's solve them. So we get minus 5 equals 200 m, that means the value of m is minus 5 by 200, which comes out to be minus 1 by 40. Let's put this value in one of the equations. So we get 20 is equal to 400 into minus 1 by 40 plus c. So this gives me a value of c as 20 plus 10, so that means the value of c is 30. So that means my demand function is now P equals minus 1 by 40x plus 30. So this is the demand function. Now the question has the supply function given to you and you need to find the equilibrium price and quantity. So you will write at equilibrium the demand function and the supply function are equal. So what is the demand function? Minus 1 by 40x plus 30 is equal to the supply function given to you. What is it? Minus 15 plus x by 20. Minus 15 plus x by 20. Let's solve this now. 30 plus 15 equals x by 20 plus x by 40. This is 45 equals LCM is 40, 2x plus x becomes 3x, 3x by 40. So that means the value of x is 45 into 40 by 3, 3 1s are 3, 5s are 15, 15 4s are 60, so that comes out to be 600. So the value of x, now we have the value of x, you can put this value of x either into the demand or the supply and find the value of P. So let's find P as P is minus 15 plus x is 600, 600 upon 20. Here write all the steps, substitute x in the supply function, then this is what you get. So 0, 0, 2, 30 minus 15 plus 30 makes it plus 15. So that means the equilibrium price is 15 and the equilibrium quantity is 600. Now we have both these values, we can now find producer or consumer surplus, what is needed, or we need to find both of them. So now we need to find both the producer surplus and the consumer surplus. So let's first start with the consumer surplus. Write the formula. I am skipping that and putting the values straight away, but you need to write the formula first before you solve, because otherwise you lose your half mark. So here it is the integral of the demand function, which is minus 1 by 40x plus 30 in this case. So this is the demand function that you have, and the limits are 0 to 600 minus product of price and demand. So this comes out to be minus 1 by 40 x square by 2 plus 30x limited by 0 to 600 minus 15 into 6, 15 into 6 comes out to be 9000. 90. So this becomes 600 square upon 80 plus 30 into 600 minus 0 minus 9000. Now 600 square is 360000 upon 80 plus 6 3s are 18, 18,000 minus 9,000. So this comes out to be 8 4s are 32, 8 5s are 40, 4,500 plus 18,000 minus 9,000. So this becomes 18,000 minus 13,500, that becomes 4,500. So this is the consumer surplus, 4,500 rupees. Understood? Wonderful. So let's now find the producer surplus. It is, again, write the formula first, don't lose your half mark here. Product of price and quantity minus integral of, what is the function we are going to have here is minus 15 plus 20 x by 20. So it is minus 15 plus x by 20 x dx, and the limits are 0 to 600. So 15 into 6 is 99,000 minus integral is minus 15x plus x square by 40, and the limits are 0 to 600. Just do these calculations. 9,000 minus 15 into 600 plus 600 square by 40. Do the calculations carefully. Minus 0. So this becomes 9,000 minus 15 into 6 is 90. Again you get minus 9,000 here, and this is 360000 again upon 40. 4 9s are 36. So again you have 9,000 here. So the final answer is 9,000 plus 9,000 minus 9,000. So this gets cancelled. So that means the producer surplus is rupees 9,000. Got the same answer? Wonderful. So I hope you understood the concept here, and we have solved quite a few questions. Now let's have a look at the PYQs for producer and consumer surplus. If you have solved all the questions side by side, pause this video and try to solve each of these questions on your own, and then cross check with what we are doing here. So the supply function of a commodity is given to you. Find the producer surplus when the market price is given. So you need to find producer surplus, market price is there. What we need is quantity before we use the formula for producer surplus. So let's start with the supply function, which is 100p equals x plus 20 whole square. 100p, let's put p as 25. It is given to you in the question. So this becomes 100 into 25 is equal to x plus 20 whole square. 100 into 25 is 2500. As you can see, it is a perfect square. So you will take square root of both the sides. Square root of 2500 is 50. So this becomes 50 is equal to x plus 20. That means x is 50 minus 20, which is 30. So you got the equilibrium quantity also, price is already given to you, and you need to find the producer surplus. So let's do that. Producer surplus is P naught x naught minus integral of the supply function with the limits 0 to x naught. So let's put all the values here. What is the price and quantity? Price is 25, 25 into quantity is 30 minus integral of the supply function, which is x plus 20 whole square. Okay, this is a little different. Look here very carefully. It is 100p is equal to this. So that means p is equal to x plus 20 whole square upon 100. So don't forget, p is equal to this. This is the supply function. So don't forget this 100 here. It is a little tricky question. This is upon 100 and then you have dx. The limits are 0 to 30. Now 25 3s is 75. So this becomes 750 minus, what is integral of this? Okay, let me take 100 out. It is a constant, minus 1 by 100 is outside. Integral of x plus 20 square. So this becomes x plus 20 cube upon 3 and the limits are 0 to 30. Now let's solve this. 750 minus 1 by 100. Put the value of x as 30. 30 plus 20 becomes 50. So it is 50 cube upon 3 minus, put x as 0. 0 plus 20 is 20. So it is 20 cube by 3. So now what do you get? 750 minus 1 by 100 into 50 cube. 50 cube, 5 5s are 25, 25 5s are 125. So it is 125 and then 3 zeros upon 3 minus 2 cube is 8 and then 3 zeros upon 3. So that becomes 750 minus 1 by 100 and you have minus 8000. So it is going to be 117,000 by 3. So you need to understand how to do the calculations also faster and without any mistake. 100 into 117,000 upon 3, the 2 zeros get cancelled and you get 750 minus 3 3s are 9, 3 9s are 27, 0, 750 minus 390, that becomes 360. Right, so this is the producer surplus. Was there any unit given here? It was rupees. So you will write the unit here. So the producer surplus is rupees 360. Understood? Easy? It was easy, right? Okay, so let's move to the next question. The demand and supply function of a commodity are given to you. Find the consumer surplus at equilibrium price. Again, we need consumer surplus. Before that, we need x naught, p naught, and at equilibrium, the demand is equal to supply. So let's equate them. 56 minus x square is equal to 8 plus x square by 3. Let's solve these two first. 56 minus 8 is equal to x square by 3 plus x square. This becomes 48. 48 is equal to 3 plus 1 4 x square by 3. That becomes x square is equal to 48 into 3 by 4. 12 3s are 36. That means the value of x is 6. So we got the equilibrium quantity. Put it either in the supply or the demand function and we get the equilibrium price. So let's use the supply function. It becomes 8 plus x square, 6 square by 3, 36 by 3. So it is 36 by 3 is 12. That means the equilibrium price is 20 and the equilibrium quantity is 6. Now we have both these values, so we can find the consumer surplus. So what is consumer surplus? It is the integral of the demand function that is given to you. That is 56 minus x square. So it is integral of 56 minus x square minus p naught x naught. What is the equilibrium price and quantity here? So it is given to you as 20 into 6 and the limits for the integral are 0 to 6. So let's integrate. It becomes 56x minus x cube by 3 and the limits are 0 to 6 minus 120. So this is 56 into 6 minus 6 cube upon 3 minus 0 minus 120 and that comes out to be 6 6 are 36, 5 6 are 30 and 3, so it is 336. 336 minus 6 cube, 6 cube is 216, 216 divided by 3 will give you 72, 72 minus 120, so that means it is 336 minus 192. 336 minus 192, so that means the answer is 144. So the consumer surplus is 144. There is no unit given, so just write 144 units. So this is the consumer surplus. Done? Easy? I hope by now you are into the habit of finding consumer and producer surplus. So now if the supply function is given to you and then find the producer surplus when 12 units are sold. So you are given X. So let's find the value of P first. P is equal to 4 plus X. You are given X as 12. So that means P is going to be 4 plus 12. It is going to be 16. So the price, equilibrium price is 16. And we have the equilibrium quantity as 12. We need to find the producer surplus. So let's just apply the formula P naught into X naught, that is 16 into 12 minus integral of the function, that is 4 plus X dx. Limits are 0 to 12. So the limit is 12. 16 into 12. How much is 16 into 12? It is 192. 192 minus integral of 4 plus X is going to be 4x plus x square by 2, and the limits are 0 to 12. So this becomes 192 minus 4 into 12 minus 12 square by 2 minus 0. So let's just solve this. 192 minus 12 fours is 48 and 12 square is 144. 144 by 2 is 72. So 48 minus 72, so it is going to be 192 minus 48, it is plus 72 plus 12 square. So 48 plus 72 is 120. So it is 192 minus 120. So the answer is 72. So that means option A is the correct answer. Done? Great. So let's move to the next question. This is the last question. So let's focus here and finish it fast. If the supply function is given to you, then find the producer surplus when the price is rupees 18. So the supply function is already given to you and the price is given to you. You need to first find the quantity. So let's write the function first. 4 minus 5x plus x square. Put P as 18. 18 is equal to 4 minus 5x plus x square. Take everything to the right side. X square minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. 7 2s are 14. So x minus 7 and x plus 2 are the factors. That means x is equal to 7 and minus 2. Ignoring negative value for the quantity, that means x is 7. Now we need to find the producer surplus, right? So let's put the formula for producer surplus. It is P naught into x naught, so it is going to be 18 into 7 minus integral of 4 minus 5x plus x square limited by 0 to 7. So let's just solve this. How much is 18 sevens are? 18 sevens is 126. 126 minus integral of this function is 4x minus 5x square by 2 plus x cube by 3. And the limits are 0 to 7. So this becomes 126 minus, let's put the value as 7. 5 into 7 square by 2 plus 7 cube by 3 minus 0. Everything goes, so it is 126 minus 7 fours are 28 minus 7 square is 49. 49 into 5, 49 into 5, okay, so 5 into 49 upon 2 plus 7 cube is 7 square is 49. 49 into 7, 7 cube is 343. 343 by 3. Now let's solve this. 126 minus, take the LCM as 6. So it becomes what? Take the LCM as 6, it becomes 168 minus, it will be into 3. You multiply this by 3 also again and it comes out to be 735 plus 686, double of this. So when you solve this, this comes out to be 126 minus, add these two, it will be 756 minus. So eventually it will be, take the LCM out, it is 756 minus 119 upon 6, and this will be 637 by 6, and you get an approximate answer of 106.17. So that means the producer surplus is rupees 106.17. This is your final answer. Right? So I hope you understood how to solve questions related to consumer surplus and producer surplus. I am repeating again, first find the equilibrium price and quantity, and then only use the formulas. And if you don't have the demand function, definitely you need to create the demand function also. So if you really found the video useful, if you like the video, don't forget to click the like button and share the video with your friends who are also struggling with how to solve questions related to consumer and producer surplus. If you have not subscribed to my channel so far, subscribe, and do not forget to click the bell icon to keep getting notifications for the upcoming videos. The next video we are going to cover the area under the curve application of integrals. So till then, keep watching, keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.